As the Actuarial Foundation continues to further its mission to enhance math education and financial literacy through the talents and resources of actuaries, the ACLI and SOA have collaborated to jointly host the Actuarial Foundation's Insurance Legends Golf Classic and Award presentation in conjunction with the ReFocus Conference. In order to underscore the importance of developing industry leaders for tomorrow, this year's Insurance Legends Award presentation will continue the tradition of recognizing those outstanding individuals. Today's inductees join those previously honored, whose leadership, intellect, and personal achievements soar above and beyond the ordinary, making lasting contributions to the insurance community and to society. We continue to express our gratitude to these individuals. And now, the Actuarial Foundation is honored to present our 2015 Insurance Legends.
I've known Sam close to 15 years, and I remember when I first started at the SOA, I had some familiarity with Sam, but it wasn't until I got there that I realized just how involved he is. And to me, with all this involvement, Sam is really, truly an actuarial renaissance man. Sam is just a really, really nice guy. We have an expression that we would use for him. He's a mensch. He really goes over and above, I think, for everyone. I think he's, the word that I like to use about Sam is he's tireless. I think he's tireless in his work, tireless in his volunteer activities, and I think really tireless in his devotion to his family. Sam was born in the small town of Ravenna, Ohio, and then later moved to Akron. And it was in high school in Akron where he joined a lot of clubs and was involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, where I think it really set up his later volunteer efforts for the profession. Sam was blessed to have parents who led long, productive lives. Morris lived until he was 100, only passed away recently, and Rebecca passed away at 95. Morris volunteered in a local elementary school, teaching there until he was 97. And I think this really instilled in Sam a passion for helping and volunteering. Sam attended the University of Michigan, and he got his math and actuarial science degrees there. And Sam also worked with some of the most prominent academics in the field at that time, Cecil Nesbitt and Donald Jones. And also he was able to work with another actuarial legend, Jim Hickman, during his summer internships. I think from these people, Sam got the basis for his thirst of knowledge in actuarial science. Sam started at CNA in 1970. And while he was there, he earned both an FSA and FCAS, and only a small number of people in the profession have double fellows. While Sam was at CNA, he established the Marketing Research and Analysis Unit, which provided strategic planning, provided research, provided statistical analysis for all the lines of insurance that CNA had. In 1986, he left CNA and joined PricewaterhouseCoopers and began his consulting career. Sam's consulted for a variety of organizations, and I think among his favorite are consulting for government agencies. He developed the first long-range model for veterans' compensation and pension plans for the Department of Veteran Affairs. He also developed the first long-range model of the Mutual Mortgage Insurance Fund for HUD, and also conducted actuarial aspects of the audits for both Social Security and Medicare. He's been selected to serve on 5 technical panels, including the 2015 Social Security Technical Panel. Around the time that Sam joined PricewaterhouseCoopers, he married Peggy. They have 2 children, Jordan and Zoe, who they're both very proud of. Sam has always had a very keen interest in the arts. When he was at the University of Michigan, he chaired their Creative Arts Festival. And it was there he got to introduce and meet some notable celebrities, including Basil Rathbone, Robert Bly, and Henry Mancini. And to this day, Sam's interest in creative art continues, and he's an adamant supporter of the Sundance Film Festival, and he actually owns a condo in Park City, Utah. He took up running in his 30s, hadn't run before, but like everything Sam does, he's tireless in it. And he quickly progressed from not only doing marathons, but ultramarathons. And an ultramarathon is 50+ miles. And I think it's a real testament to his perseverance and stamina. One of Sam's proudest moments is when his peers elected him president of the Society of Actuaries. He has a strong commitment to education and research, and he chaired many of the education and research committees of the Society of Actuaries. During Sam's presidency, he started the North American Actuarial Journal, which continues to produce high-quality, peer-reviewed research. He's a prolific writer. He's written on everything from life insurance company expenses to obesity. I think among my favorite pieces that he writes are for the back page of Contingencies magazine. Sam has a way of injecting himself into his pieces, and I always come away learning something. Sam's a big believer in the Actuarial Foundation. He's been involved since its inception. He chaired the research committee for a number of years and is a former trustee. I'm fortunate to have worked with Sam in the past decade and have benefited in many ways. He's a true role model for the profession. Sam's dedication, knowledge, and tireless efforts make him a true insurance legend. Congratulations, Sam. You truly deserve this honor.
Well, I first met Barbara her first day on the job at Bankers Life Insurance Company of Nebraska. She made a great first impression. She had graduated with honors at Nebraska Wesleyan. She was then, and has remained so all through her career, a very, very hard worker. But I think of her always as one of the nicest people I know also. She was born in La Feria, Texas. Her parents moved to Lincoln sometime in the 1940s, and she has one sister, Charlene. I became head of the group department at Bankers of Nebraska in 1970, and there was only one choice for my successor, and that was Barbara. So she became head of the actuarial department. Barbara had talked to me about the possibility of going to Phoenix Mutual, which would have been a significant promotion for her. She would have had about the same job, but in a much bigger company. She was at the Phoenix Mutual when she became the first woman president of the Society of Actuaries. I still remember how she opened her presidential address by saying that it was a historic moment. And of course, everybody expected that she would be commenting on the fact that she was the first woman president, and she said instead, "I'm the shortest president the Society of Actuaries has ever had." She also became involved with public issues. She, with her position as an actuary, became quite involved in a big controversy in the 1980s about whether you should have separate rates for male and female or whether you should have unisex rates. And she debated Senator Packwood, I know, of Oregon, frequently. She was saying that there are differences in mortality statistics, and it's going to be impossible to be fair if you don't recognize that and allow lower payouts on annuities because women live longer, but then women should also have lower rates on term insurance because their death rates were lower. And she was a very, very strong public advocate of that. A lot of articles, making a lot of speeches. I can remember turning on WBZ in Boston one morning, and there was Barbara being interviewed on this very issue. She then, I think, began to realize that she had perhaps more to offer as a sole proprietor of Lautzenheiser and Associates. She has made a major career of that. When I looked at her CV and all the list of publications, we've been friends obviously for a long time, But I was amazed too at how much writing she'd done and the amount of public involvement she's had with the Actuarial Foundation, with the International Actuarial Association, and also, I believe, is the only woman ever to be president of both the Society of Actuaries and the American Academy of Actuaries. One of the things she did very frequently was public testimony in wrongful death cases or personal injury cases, and I think has been very, very successful in it. I got the Company Bankers of Nebraska to fund an actuarial scholarship which went to a high school graduate of a Nebraska high school. And we, even then, would point to her as a role model. When I left, Barbara carried it on very, very successfully, and there are a lot of people that owe a lot of their success to her. Barbara, I think, is a legend, not only because of her accomplishments within the actuarial profession, but also to be one of the very first actuaries that really spoke out on public policy issues. Barbara, I'd like to congratulate you on being named a legend of the actuarial profession, because not only for what you have done within the profession, but also the impact you have had on public policy issues on which the actuarial voice needs to be heard, starting with unisex and your continued involvement with insurance commissioners, with legislators, and with the general public. Your honor as a legend is well and richly deserved.